Hey there, Ojel. A strange moment to wander into the stone wastes, I have to say. But perhaps you have lucky timing. You can see that our village has crashed upon some rough rocks. We won't survive much longer without a strong hand to aid us. A total Zilnek of a warlord called Nazosa moved his people into our ruins nearby. They raid the village for supplies, but we don't have any defenses. In times past, Stone Wastes was protected by the Four Winds, but they went their separate ways. After a big argument, they disbanded. 3 moved to the outskirts of the village, and 1 stayed. She died during a raid by Nazosa's people. We need the Winds to come back together. Can you talk to them? Convince them to return, and I'll pay you. Good, good. Slivers of bright sun might poke through this storm with your help. Let's start with Elosi, the sudden gust. She lives on the outskirts of town in a hut to the northwest. I should join you so that she doesn't kill you on sight. Of course. Makes sense you would want to know more. The Four Winds have always wandered this region, defending villages from bandits and such. Ever since our ancestors erected the first hut, 4 warriors with unique skills have roamed the marsh. No. When the wind dies, the title passes to another of their choosing. There is a big celebration with drinks and dancing. And little bonding, if you understand. We treasure the Four Winds. I do not know why they abandoned us. Well, I already mentioned Elosi, the sudden gust. She glides upon her prey better than the quietest hackling. Then there is Mirta, the Zephyr Eternal, a practitioner of old Argonian magics. Not very sociable, so do not let him get to you. Otumira, the unrelenting gale, stronger than an ox and tougher than a Hajmota. Fun at parties, too. A much nimbler dancer than you would expect. Then there was Satusa, the steady breath. The only one to stay here and protect us. But no more. When those bandits first came to raid our village, she fought them off easily. We thought that was the end of it. But soon they returned, and something had changed. They cut her down like a rotted tree. We have not been free of them since. As a guess, I would say they are Vutu, sharp-eyed people. A petty tribe who revel in preying on other Argonians. They build nothing, but have no problem leeching off others to survive. May their spirits never find dirt. Oh, he is a vicious, cackling hyena. The first time I saw him, I swear, his eyes were as black as a well. Quick with a blade, too. He made the first blow when Satul Sa fell. I will never forget his laugh as she bled. Like I said, a total Zilnek. Well, I used to be the local blacksmith. I do good work, nothing special. But it keeps the village doors from falling off and the tools sharp. Since Nazosa, though, all I can do is patch up the injured after a raid. There is nothing left to smith. Of course I have, Ojel. Do you think I can see the wreckage of my village and not feel a fire in my gut? But I am no warrior. I am a smith. It is good to know who you are, even if it brings limitations.
Let's ride.
And we're off. Don't worry about me. I can keep up. Here's Elosi's hut. She may not be home, but let's check just in case. Doesn't look like she's home. Let's see if we can figure out where she went. just here. You know, a less confident Argonian might start to take this personally.
You shall have
Off
my
the top of my head, she can't get too far. It looks like she was just preparing a meal here, so perhaps she went looking for herbs? Let's search around. I think I know a spot.
You asked here alone.
Elosi, we weren't doing anything.
You bring a stranger into my home, Noozle? An outsider entering my home unbidden seeks death. You only live because the annoying blacksmith who joins you is familiar to me. But this pause is a temporary state. Speak then. What is so urgent that you would break into my home? Distressing news. It seems my great fear has come to pass. Where then is Satul Sa? She would never leave the villages undefended. Even once we decided our time was at an end, she insisted on staying. Dead? Satul Sa? She was the smartest and wisest of us all. This is impossible. And yet, since Noozle brought you, it must be true. The consequences of my selfish choice meant the death of my dear friend. Such a bitter lesson. You shall have my aid, if you perform a simple task. When I retired, I buried my blades deep in the ground. Go north to the ruins, retrieve them for me so that I may avenge Satul Sa. Be warned, as I made certain they are well protected. My daggers represented a life I thought I left behind. If you are serious about my help, find them, bring them back, and I will become the sudden gust once more. You asked to hear a long tale, one that I do not wish to tell, and may not have the right to tell. Be satisfied with this. A tree is not merely its trunk or branches or roots. It is also its seed. And so a tree without seeds is nothing at all. Indeed, so it does. I may have failed it, but I cannot change the past. I can, however, change its future. With my weapons, I can fight this Nazosa and defend the stone wastes once more.
I'll follow right along behind you. These rooms look uninviting. Let's be careful. Well, a cache of daggers in the ruins. They must be Elosi's.
So, you have skills. Even if you did let me sneak up on you. Let's speak. Your test is complete, and with barely a scale out of place.
Stop! I don't care.
Like my blades?
Yeah, I let her out. Like, stop forcing me to let her out. Like, you let her out now.
Back when I could tolerate the withered toad. Of course I will. I was always going to. But I needed to see if you could fight by my side. Also, I wanted to finish my meal. I will meet you in the village center, unless you need something more from me. I see. You wish to bring us all back together. Well, a promise was made, and I will keep it. Go southeast to find the dingy hovel where Mirta resides. Look beneath the dirt and rock, and you'll find him. Just don't tell him I sent you.
Right behind you, pal.
these ruins. Like nothing I've seen. Perhaps more in the ruins. Do these runes have the same derivation? Maybe if I replace... Wait. What? Who are you? Why are you interrupting me? Leave here immediately! Oh, you brought that dusty blacksmith from the village? You must need something. That sounds like a whole bunch of not my business. Can't you see I am busy with my studies here? I don't have time to involve myself in the toils of others. Satu Sa brought this on herself. Had she any sense of reason, she'd be alive. Was I not clear? Have Nixads stolen my tongue? I said, be gone! Whatever their troubles are, I'm sure it looks much worse to you than it really is. My work, however, could change history. Go! Ka ka ka! You're seeking help from that drunken lout? You'd be better off on your own than with him. But if it gets you out of my scales, you can find him on the southwest edge of the forest near the cliffside. I trust you'll be disappointed.
So far, only half successful. Let's go find Otumira's hut.
Don't eat the plate, too. Just one more. Those frogs dancing. No knives. Have you shouted, Satulsa? No mud puddles for you, sir. Ah, Kayak.
No response. I suppose Myrtau was right. This is the worst I have ever seen Otumira get. Maybe this is what happens when the life of the party no longer has something to celebrate. Let us see. Wait, I have an idea on how to snap him out of it. A briar that grows out this way might help. The seed is inedible and it smells awful, especially to Argonians. If we get a couple of those, the smell will overwhelm him and wake him up. If anything is going to work, that will. I seem to remember a field of waking seeds grows to the east of here. Gather a handful, then come back. I will keep an eye on this hero of legends in the meantime. I should warn you, some creatures are attracted to the smell. Keep your scales moist.
The day is ours!
You're back. There's, no change here. Okay, I can already smell them on you. I do not even need to ask. Put them right up to Otumira's nose. Let him get a big old whiff. Hopefully that snaps him right out. Well, the only plan I have next is gathering more seeds and shoving them right up his snout. He does not have a choice. Our village needs his help.
That is awful. Oh, what? Who are you? Oh, what horrific stench of dead mules and fried dung have you thrust upon me? All I wish is a gentle slumber under the open skies and upon the mud. Does not a retired fighter for peace deserve such rest? Speak, brigand! No, my greatest friend, and I hoped one day my mate, if she would ever agree. Dead? How can I bear such enormous tragedy as this? Lay the facts onto the stone, stranger. Who has earned my unyielding, roiling anger? A battle against murderers and thieves. These are the types of trials I live for, or at least I used to. I imagine you and the blacksmith wish to join my struggle for freedom and revenge. Join me. I must celebrate, my friend, and test your mettle. Join me inside. We'll see what you're made of. All right, my newest friend. By joining me, you choose to engage in the challenge of my choice. Only through completing this test of your endurance and stamina shall I know your worth as a warrior. Do you believe yourself prepared? Oh, yes. I can sense that raging fire in your stout heart. I suspect you have slain many a foe in your travels. But if we are to go into battle together, I must put a fire in your belly as well. And so, we're going to do a drinking contest. What else? Show me that you hold the same strong will that makes for the greatest of warriors. Oh, chum, we shall see if you can withstand the greatest of Argonian ales and wines. Plus, this should help numb the rodents gnawing in my head. The drinks are in front of me. You may choose what we drink. Be warned, mixing Argonian spirits can fell the stoutest outsider. If you do not believe yourself up to the task, you may leave now. I will call you many rude names as you flee, though. Now choose a drink and get started.
All right, I'll give this a try. For the village, right?
Your eyes shout out your strength. Try again. Ah, good start. Let's see how you do with even more.
I feel so good.
Bitter, isn't it? I make that myself. From whatever... Ha! Oh, I thought you'd fall to the ground like good news will have... The final one, and still you stand. A will made of true iron you must have. Come, let's speak. Impressive. Such strength, such power, such a stomach. I did not know they made outsiders who could stand against the might of Argonian ale. Would you like to continue? Not as part of the test, just for a wonderful time. Of course, I was always going to. This test was just to see if I would allow you to join me, or cut you down for waking me up. But you passed. Let us link arms and bring the fight to those who slew my dear Satulsa. 2 of the 3? Let me guess. Mirta refused. Do not be fooled. He has a good soul, but his mood is as legendary as my strength. Here, take my banner and place it on the cliff above my hut. He won't be able to stand knowing I'm going into a fight that he isn't, so don't worry. He'll be there. Have no fear for the blacksmith. Some waking seeds shall fix him up.
No, you go ahead. I am just going to stay here for a bit.
Still standing, chum? Legs aren't wobbling from fear or drink? No, I don't suppose I need worry about that for someone with your epic fortitude. Voss, do you see? The villagers join us. Our arrival gives them hope. This is your work. Ho ho, more than enough. These people feel a deep fire in their bellies, but someone needed to fan it until the flames shoot out their mouths. We have done this very thing. And with the addition of 3 winds of stone wastes, we are unbeatable. You're right, he isn't here with us, but make no mistake. I spent many turns of the season at his side. He's brash and filled with bees, but you'll find few with stronger character. He'll be here, if he isn't lurking around already.
Ah, you arrive. And you managed to rouse Otumira. An impressive act, especially for an outsider such as yourself. I feel grateful for your efforts in bringing us back together. Now, however, we shall see how you fare in a fight. Of course I am. How silly to even ask. The winds of Stone Wastes have stood up to much worse than a flimsy army and a paper mud crab such as this warlord Nazosa. This will be no trouble. That is true. Perhaps you are right that I should not underestimate the danger that might be present behind those walls. But by the same token, he should not have killed one of our own. If he sought to frighten the winds, he failed.
It is good to see you. At least I think that is you. I could be having ale visions again. Anyway, you have done it. The winds have reunited, ready for battle. Because you convinced them. Well, 2 of them, at least. Well, as Otumira carried me back to the village, we started discussing you, and how strong, courageous, and wise you are. And attractive, too. Did I mention that? We hoped you might join their assault on the ruins, help drive out Nazosa and his dry-scaled thugs. There needs to be a 4th wind. That's what the legend tells us. If you join them with this, they cannot fail. Plus, I will pay you more. Lead the charge when you are ready, outsider. The winds will be at your back.
Once again, I fight by your side, Otumira. My scales have itched for this moment.
Let your blades sing their horrible song, Elosi. I delight in the tune.
We are under attack! Those dumb villagers think they can take
my
us!
friend! Up here! I have need of you!
And protect those weapons!
Oh, I can feel the power surging in me once again. Such a battle! Do you think you can help me with this thing? In my youth, I could topple 3 such pillars with a swift kick. But all things age, even me. Why does anyone want to push anything over? To smash stuff, of course. You outsiders ask such ridiculous questions. I want the catapults below in splinters. So yes, I can push this most of the way. I just need your extra shove to finish the task. Oh, I was hatched ready, you hilarious Deek Biko. Here we go! A crushing like none other! Now hurry, seek out Nazosa.
Psst. Outsider. Over here. Quickly.
Oblivion, take you!
Look. Up above us. Prisoners from the village kept for sick entertainment. How many of them are thought dead, never to return home? I can release them, but I'll need your help. You see those pulleys up there? They control the cell doors. I can cut them, but someone needs to open the grate in front of them. Under the southwest tree, you'll find a crank. Turning it will open the grate. Then, I can free them. Ha, don't worry. This I can manage. Just open the grate for me so I can work. Once you turn the crank, I can reach the other, and the cell should unlock.
Free. I never thought to see the day. Thank you.
Continue the fight. Remove these pests from our home.
That's got it!
Finally, you show. Boss, I have need of you. Perhaps you are surprised to see me here ahead of you? Mirta has many secret abilities that baffle the unlearned. But you reached this far on your own, so I am impressed. I would ask your assistance in my attempts to clean out our guests. Oh, please. You knew I would show the moment you placed that banner. Did you really think I'd let Otumi Ra revel in all the glory by himself? Rubbish. He knows that he's useless without me here. I think I know how Nazosa killed Satul Sa. Do you see these weapons? Some mammal liquor enchanted them. With these, a handful of limp fins could fell the strongest of warriors. This is how they killed Satul Sa, and mean to kill the other winds. We destroy them, of course, but I need the binding word for the enchantment. I refuse to leave these weapons alone, so you need to retrieve it. There's a library of sorts just to the east. Search through the books in there, and you should find it. Look for a scroll that was recently manhandled by brutes. I should have come down here more often when I lived in the village. These tomes are out of date, certainly, but an interesting history. Well, I suppose we're in a battle and shouldn't delay. Did you find the binding word? Ah, astute. There is hope for you yet. I'll make sure these weapons trouble us no more. Now we can land the final blow, and the warlord won't have a counter. Remove his symbol of authority. Walk into his chambers and pull down his banners. That way, his troops will know he is broken. If they don't outright turn on themselves, they'll likely steal what they can and flee. Hired hands are fickle. Now then, let me see what I can do with these.
We took everything else. Time to take your life!
The banner burns! Warlord Nazosa has fallen!
Scatter! Everyone for themselves! Grab what you can.
bandits flee!
The village belongs to us again. Sing for the winds.
Sun, bless the winds. They freed us.
Here you stand, the stranger who drifted through the mud to save us. And to think, I assumed you were a crow come to pick our bones. We can live in peace once again, and the legend of the winds will continue. Who can ever guess the wind's direction? But I choose to believe so. We reminded them of their strength when they worked together. I suppose you came for the promised reward. From my claws to my tail, I say this in earnest. You deserve this. I do not think we will have much trouble rebuilding. Plenty of supplies in the marsh. And of course, we have the best blacksmith who ever wallowed to craft our tools. My spine feels electric from all this hope. Not quite used to it. After we rebuild the village and I know we are truly safe, I may start selling my wares in other towns. Go north to Dryskin Lands. I want to be like the winds, traveling around, taking in the sights, living a better life.
Ah, it's you. I see you made it through relatively unscathed, and you managed to follow my instructions. Twice. I saw the banner burn. Quite the accomplishment for someone who consistently puts themselves on death's threshold. Such an upstart bog dog. You know nothing of the journey of Mirta. Yes, I did face death on a frequent basis, but you have seen my power. Nothing can stand tall before me. Also, I had companionship back then. We fought for peace. It was good. Without delay, I will return to my studies. Now that I know the library within the ruins holds treasures, I expect to spend many days there. However, perhaps I should renew my bonds with the other winds and train someone new. The peace must be kept.
Oh, I stayed away from this life for too long. Solitude is no way to spend my days. Come on now. I suspect the knowledge of what I plan lurks within your strange but impressive belly. I will drink. We all will. For many, many nights. Then, perhaps, I will finally choose a student. Feats of strength. Or perhaps I will test their knowledge of the most offensive words in Gel. No warrior can ignite their sinew without shouting something horrible. Until then, I know the village is safe. This satisfies me.
There are a lot of relieved villagers here, thanks to your efforts. Well done, friend. The future, I know of no such thing. Today, I will help the village rebuild. I quite like the hidden life out in the woods, but perhaps it was not the life I was meant to live. The shadows are an absence, where the light brings life.